What's going on, y'all? Oh man. Man, let's get this started right here, man. Woo! Some people come in a minute, but how you guys doing today? I'm not even gonna be here too long. You know, I'll probably say that in like a lot of videos, but you know, so some things that's been going on over the news. But I think shouts out to Screen Learning, and he was going out. He was just stating that the more update of the Ahmaud Arbery situation here is that he wasn't wearing boots, and I'm like, yeah, because you know, you use some critical thinking skills. The individual who will take a job running with boots on, Tim's on, and that may be a totally different person in that description there, because if it happened in the same day, you know, some daytime, I mean, he had no hammer. It wasn't routed up in a police report. None of that, you know. Have you guys seen me, bro? But it wasn't even routed. So we got to use some critical thinking skills. So I really pray that the Michaels, whatever, they get, you know, to get full sentencing, man. 34 years in prison, something like that, bro. Seriously, because I think Lee Merritt is gonna work on this case. Criminal attorney right here, representing the family, and should do his best to get some justice, man. I just really hate. I mean, I understand that all this media stuff, people want to express their opinions, but come on, man. I mean, we gotta use some critical thinking skills, and we can't get on our emotions. Gentlemen, here, it's not against the law to go ahead and go inside a construction place. It's not. Never was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even I remember shouts to BMT. He said, you know, he does real estate and he's making sure property is working, is doing what it's supposed to do, and it's up to date, it's upkeep. Looking at the electric outlets, the flooring is done, all the little essential things. You know, he's coordinating with the property manager, doing those specific things, right? Specific tasks as a landlord. And then when he was working on things and he saw a gentleman, man, he was like, man, well, you know, the gentleman was just drinking water inside the building. And he was like, okay, well, he didn't have to beat him down. He ain't had to stomp him out. He used to say, hey, brother, you can't be here. I know we don't have no trespassing sign, but you can no longer be here. So we're just going to walk you to where you need to go. And that's all you had to do. So they decided to take the law and matter in their own hands. And it backfired. And they used to try to cover this up. So, so full justice, man. I mean, even though if he was there, people say he should have no business doing there, man. People go to that type of stuff all the time, man. It doesn't mean they have to lose their lives. And that's on that. So I'm gonna go on to detail here. Try to look. I'm sharing my screen here about this Delaware incident here about this gentleman, man. I think he killed like an elderly couple. Okay. All right. So Delaware State Police, Maryland couple killed in cemetery shooting as Paul Lidio Marino. Okay, and I think he died as well. Paul Marino, 86. Okay, Lidio Marino. Okay, died after being shot while visiting. They was visiting Delaware Veterans Memorial Cemetery Friday morning. The alleged gunman, Sheldon Francis, 29-year-old brother of Middletown, Delaware, was later found dead from a gunshot wound. I might probably go ahead and play the clip real quick. You understand.
An Elkton couple at a veterans cemetery in Delaware. Officials say 29-year-old Sheldon Francis killed an 85-year-old woman and an 86-year-old man Friday morning. They say the woman died at the scene, but the man died at a hospital yesterday. Police found Francis dead about 6 hours after the shooting in a nearby wooded area. Francis and the officers exchanged gunfire earlier in the day, so officials say it's unclear if the gunshot wound was.
That's interesting, though. He probably was killed by the police. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the motivation, the reason for that, but it is super crazy, though. You know, as we look at this too, you know, analyzing this, you know, it could be simply like a crisis will be going on, like far as mental health. And that's why I want to kind of just, kind of really talk about. Let me see. Put my screen up. But yeah, that's what I kind of really want to talk about, man. It could be it's mental issues, man, that's going on right now. I mean, men that might not find their identity, what they really want to do. Um, Beta male type of characteristics, man. Just going here, it's just like any life, man, regardless of what color you are, bro. Like it shouldn't, it shouldn't be just you shouldn't be just getting killed like that, man. Especially unjustly. So, brother lost his life, 29 years of age. I don't know what motivated him to go ahead and kill this elderly couple. It's very sad, and condolences to him for whatever reasons, man. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. And it gets me thinking about like the brother Sean Reed when he ran outside, and instead of him pulling over and seeing what the cops wanted, he decided continuously to move forward, man, and run. And he got shot and killed. It's just things, man. We can't put ourselves in situations, man. I don't know if it's like a fathers in the households. I think it's a identity crisis that's going on. I really truly believe that it's an identity crisis going on. The man's really going. That's not in God's natural order. And God's natural order is that as a man, you're supposed to be motivated through the Spirit of God, not being caught up in the flesh of the world. And I think that's what a lot of things are going on here. That's the media is pushing. That as a man, you determine about how many women you sleep with, all that type of stuff, how much money you have, and if you don't have a Hollywood lifestyle, you're insignificant in the world, which is completely not true. Because it has God gave us a spirit. He gave us a purpose on this earth. And as I continuously, talk to people about this, shout out to DJ Killzone, will continuously to make him keep going and have that motivation to keep going and seeking good and being the best person you can be is because he knows that God has created him, gave him breath and his body for a reason. And all the trials and tribulations and struggles that he goes through is going to help him become a stronger person. And I think that's what is lacking in a lot of these individual homes here. I don't know. I'm gonna say if this brother grew up in a single mother home, even if he had two-parent household, maybe that he still felt insignificant. Maybe his father wasn't really in his life like that. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I bring that up because it's only so much what a mother can teach you. And I'm not blaming mothers for mass shootings, but I'm just saying at the same time though, maybe he wasn't around good male figures that can teach him and stir him away to actually, so he won't be having this range and just going out and just shooting and killing so many people because that I believe that's what the instance of mass shooters. I mean, Diamond Roof, you had other people like just shooting up churches, and then they asked him, brother, he visited him in prison. He was like, "Why did you do it?" He couldn't even really give a definite answer. Yeah, it could be racially motivated, but at the same time, man, it's like an identity. He didn't know where he came from. He said he was bullied. Most of these kids were bullied before, and I just think that hey, they just think like, hey, I just want innocent people or whoever to feel what I felt, and I think that's a really a crazy way, the selfish way. So if we can really go back, we have like maybe some political representation. If I was running for office or something like that, man, we have to really get involved in investing in the men, the young men, because without the men, I mean, it's really the struggle and the foundation of a family will completely be destroyed. They said that, statistics speaking, I believe that's um, it says 74 as far as like American households who have children, 74% ones that have children are married, and you compare it to blacks, it's 39%. I believe the Hispanics was 42%, Asians was 84.9%. And the basis of family foundations, man, is just one of the key components of keeping the family together and having an economic foundation is under God's union. And I just think that we're losing that covering far as like in the black community. So should we continuously read like different stories about this young man? I mean, it's a really, I mean, just anything, just mass shootings, man. It really came from a destructive path. Let me see if I can see some more here, but it's really a sad thing, man. Maryland couple killed, cemetery shooting as Paul. Yeah. I want to do more research on them. Let's see what's going on. Married couple, yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. This one a little longer.
Some positive signs in Maryland's coronavirus fight. Despite reaching 30,000 cases in our state, the key numbers, hospitalizations, and ICU cases remain stable. Those numbers will determine when things can reopen. Today, the Ocean City Beach and Boardwalk opens.
They talking about something else. Let me see. It says suspect engaged in a shootout. Okay, with the police around noon Friday, he was found dead from a gunshot wound a few hours later in a wooded area where the shootout took place. The suspect was identified only as a 29-year-old man from Middletown, Delaware. It was not immediately clear whether the suspect shot himself, possibility, or was hit by police in an earlier exchange of gunfire. No officers were injured in the shooting. Okay. I want to know, man. Is anything more about him? Yeah, that's it, man. Wow. Sheldon Francis. Let me Google something. Yep. Chesapeake Drive. That's probably only the sources that we can really get, though. I don't think his family spoke out about this situation either. Breaking the ad. Nah, I ain't playing ads like that. What's up? What's up? So African Prince. What's up, BMT? See if I can get you on here. Anybody can get on. Open panel for everybody. Shouts out to everybody. Appreciate y'all. I'm trying to get like more information about the gentleman here. It's only giving me a little information though. But yeah, man. We gotta invest in our young men, bro. I think this is like an epiphany that I'm really having. And I'm starting to connect the dots on a lot of things, man. Just things that's just racially motivated, just things that people just coming out and just doing things without thinking. It's like it's very upsetting, you know. So precaution, troopers evacuate homes in the vicinity. About an hour after being seen, Francis was spotted again. Police said this time the gunman fired at the officers. So he fired at the officers. He probably got shot. Okay, fired back before Francis disappeared again. So the search of the woods continued, and around 4 p.m., 4 hours after the exchange of the gunfire, troopers found Francis dead. Upon being located, Francis was confirmed to have sustained gunshot wound. Corporal Michael Austin said Sunday news release is undetermined at this time. If this was self-inflicted or result of the exchange of the gunfire. So okay, so the motive hasn't has not been released yet. Okay, let's see what people saying right here. Let's see, hey, my boy. See something. He might be charged with a hate crime. I don't know. Said the GA murders the dirty laundry the media likes. The MD murder deserve the same reporting. He won't be charged with anything most likely since it doesn't make sense to prosecute a corpse. Right. Yeah, he is dead though. So I mean, but yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know how they really gonna do this. It's just a messed up situation though. I don't, you know. Wow. I mean, unless they, like I said, if they only way someone can be charged with is they, you know, if he was working for somebody or it was like a hit, you know, that's the only thing I can really think of. Other than that, it's just rest in case, do autopsy, just go on about your business. He said, Ruby Rich said, so I had to search for this article to post the names of the deceased. To my knowledge, Fox has not done that. Anyways, I had to use the search function to find an article. However, the Georgia shootings is blasted all over the front page. Yeah. Say the outrage is non-existent. What I really know, the outrage is non-existent. I mean, because it's both parties are done. Or I feel like if the black, if Sheldon Francis were he made it out there alive or something, and killed those couple for no reason, it would be an outrage. But now it's just like both parties are dead. It's like even that same thing that Ahmaud Arbery situation. If he would have found a way, if he would have killed those individuals, then and then he died. On top of that, I don't know if it'd been outrage. We'd be still talking about it, but it'd be like, damn, it's a little different. What's up, BMT?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? It's ain't really too much, man. Just just basically just reporting the story, I guess, man. Just another individual. I ain't trying to be biased out here. People say, oh, it's a Cleveland story. I mean, a cemetery story happened in Baltimore or whatever. I mean, in Delaware. So I was like, okay, go ahead and report that. But ain't nothing too much going on. I was just really thinking that, it may be a crisis, maybe between like, as men in general, I feel like, because I mean, still a life is a life, and I don't condone any type of violence. When you see like innocent people getting killed, I know it was very emotional with the Ahmaud Arbery situation, trying to figure out how we can have keep our politicians accountable, man, for like just certain things, just so
Right.
so we can have like some type of I can say like power in the justice system, man. And I started, just researching and asking other people how we can do that, in the black community. But when you see young men just killing people, regardless, you can't keep doing that, man. And like I said, we don't even know the motive. The police investigators don't even know yet. It hasn't been released.
No, that's true. As we go about looking at these said things and the stuff that's going about happening, it comes about accountability. And I was talking about that. You was on the show. Shout out to you for being on the show earlier. And there are a lot of self-conflicting things about watch your words and how you use them, and you speak life into these kind of scenarios and stuff that happen, and it comes a time for accountability.
True.
And we try to tell a lot of these young men, hey, you need to be mindful of how you step,
Right.
what you do, how you act, how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? And of course sometimes they think that, we're just, why you always picking, or why you always saying X, because that's you train them as the way they should go.
True. Yep.
And we're living in an era of a live fast, die young. The clout chasing. We see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right. Me and your brother Mike has spoke about that earlier, where don't grab no cell phone and antagonize the police, but also take initiative to be proactive and be about your business. And that's not hard. It is sad that the young man did lose his life. We don't know what he could have gone down another path. And there is accountability to a lot of these things, so that's one of the main things I want to start off with.
Well, taking it, accountability. See, I think too, BMT, and as you go into history, like I believe, like maybe the feminist movement may have something to do with this. And the reason why I brought that up because, especially back in the '60s, '70s, that's when this really was, popping and everything, and they had these type of ideologies. They believe that they want to really create a more softer, gentler type of men, and they feel like women can they can go ahead and raise a family without having a man counterpart and all that type of stuff, and then they can infuse the qualities of what it's like to be a man, even though they're not. And I just felt like they're missing. It's taking women out of their element. In that particular time, though, it was really for white women. It's supposed to be the beneficial of them. Black women started getting on board because they was able to have these type of these benefits when it comes to divorcing their men. Because back then, before the 1670s, when I did research, you only can divorce if your spouse committed adultery. Other than that, it's like, now it's like, hey, you can divorce them for whatever because you tired of them. And now on top of that, regardless if the man is responsible in taking care of the kids, they still the one still can be like, yeah, I still don't like you. I just don't want to be with you. Now, they can, you got to pay alimony, all that type of stuff. So a lot of the laws was written in the favor of women. And I just really felt like that really hit us or hit the community a lot. And the men that's growing up without their fathers in the home and stuff like that, and they hear like, their mothers talking bad about men, then then it's going to be hard for them to submit to male authority. And I think when we hear and we see things like this, like a Sean Reed, or we see people that's like you said, antagonizing the police or getting fired from different jobs and stuff like that, because they're not used to submitting to a male authority. You know what I'm saying? The people that's in the position of power, they're used to submitting to a female authority. So do you think that has a lot to do with that? Or it's like we've seen like these mass shootings between men?
As far as it goes, because I want to say the mind state of you can't tell me nothing, which is sad because we all like to. It is easy to say that being raised by a woman, the male doesn't know how to honor authority.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen it elsewhere where there have been women, there have been children that are raised in a household by a woman, and they'll say, yes, sir, no, sir. Again, it's going to come out to that individual and where they're at mentally and psychologically. Because pushing at the feminism, women, white women did want, rights once they saw the African American Negro get rights. You know what I'm saying? And we all know how that bowed out for our women. They were like, well, damn, y'all got rights. How come? Where were we in that talk?
Mm-hmm.
Where were we in that talk? And they were like, well, why are you complaining about rights? When I get it, you'll get it too.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a dichotomy of that. Are there a lot of young men that do not respect authority? Yes, there are, especially in the African American community. There are a lot of said young black men that do not respect or listen to authority. But they do look for family, and for family that they never had or feel like they were denied of. And we're seeing a revolving door of the who's more wrong, who committed the biggest sin, Adam or Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at that, it's never going to be. We're never going to truly have a truce. At some point, somebody got to just say, okay, I get it. Our kids are fucked up. Our people are fucked up. Now, where do we go from here? You get what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying, brother. But at this point now, It's like, now that we're here, what now? Because it's not going to get any better. It's not getting any better for our people. Like, nobody's going to win this war. When it's all said and done, so far we're just losing.
Somebody said in order for us to really get back on top, it's these reparations. I'm starting to really lean to that, and I'm not trying to just say that's the easy way out, but I'm like, if we think about it, 400 years of slavery, 50 years, what I'm saying, of discrimination, 100 years of Jim Crow, it would be, what I'm saying, we kind of need this, what I'm saying, and then too, we don't have to hold our politicians accountable for giving us tangible ideas. I mean, tangible, like, assets and stuff like that. I mean, to the point that, when President Obama was president and stuff like that, it was still a lot of police brutality going on, and it's just seemed like I feel like he didn't really do a good job addressing it as much. I mean, the Trayvon Martins and all that type of stuff, the Eric Garner, the Michael Brown, stuff like that, man. And it's like, it's getting worse. And if we, as like I said, African Americans, understand the voting process, is that if we instead of just people coming out of nowhere coming to us and pitching out their ideas, we need to withhold our vote and then force them to come to us. Like okay, then we put an agenda. You know what I'm saying? That I think that's what it is. It's like we collectively not coming together and putting an agenda like other races of people. We just like, oh, this dude came out of nowhere and he talks a good talk. He comes to our churches, so we're gonna trust him. And then we get effed over and over again. So at this point, I really don't think it really matters party. It could be a Democrat and Republican do the same thing to us. It's just, I think it's us. We got to be held accountable.
I mean, at this point now, we could get reparations tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It still wouldn't fix us.
And why is that?
Because what we got going on now is more so of a psychological issue than a doggone financial issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's more so of a psychological issue. Because you're seeing even black people with money, they're having breakdowns. They're doing stuff just about, I mean, you literally saw Sunday, there was a panel of women that have money, but you couldn't tell by the way that they were carrying themselves. So we now understand it's not so much about money, but if it was money, then you know the issues, because we got to even where some people who have money, the people who have money, they won't even help those that do need it. So what's the point? Like how did John say, if you have two coats, give your brother one? And so they'll say naturally, well, guess what? Why do I need to take care of him? You know, he can pick his own bootstrap. And I'm a Republican, conservative. I believe you have your Republican views also. So that talk is going to continue to come up of those who have money. So now it's down to internal issue of the mindset of, do I and am I allowed to hold my family accountable, or the black community accountable? And also along with that, just walking with this, are they going to actually try to better themselves if given the opportunity? Because you've seen people get their check. I mean, not saying that blacks were doing the most craziest stuff. They weren't.
Right.
I don't want us to say that we were doing that. I kind of say that we kind of handled that pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, besides, we were lining up with Jordans, but I mean, that's their business. I don't think that's a huge thing. I mean, people like what they like.
Well, here's the thing about it. And let's shoot at that.
Yeah.
Let's showcase the picture of black people out there lining up for Jordans. But on the counterpart, they didn't show what would be the counterpart of white people out there with guns lined up, marching, and trying to get into a small Capitol building. You got one trying to go get shoes. You got one going in there with guns. I mean, pick which one is the worst one.
Yeah, and see, but that's what I'm saying, bro. I just think that the country itself, bro, it's gonna picture. It's like I said, been picturing it since the beginning of time. Or birth, the old one, and how
Right.
In front of us. I mean, it's just like since day one. I just think, I don't know, BMT, man. It's like, how can we convince or change the narrative of America picturing black people as a whole, man? Like, it's like, I feel like, do we, because it's no other country we can go to. People say Africa. It ain't no, what I'm saying? Like, they don't even like us like that either. They come over here competing with us. So it's just like, where can we go? Like, we gotta establish dominance here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing to me on this stuff, man. And don't get me wrong, I know like you are in control of your own destiny. I truly believe that. I understand that. Yes, there are many black millionaires out there and it's successful, but I just feel like collectively as a whole, bro, like it's 2020, bro. Like when you hear just like the average black man or black woman or just still suffering under the system economically or justically in the justice system compared to like when whites kill a black person, they get petty sentences. As a black person, you don't do something, we get life, we get lynched, we get thrown in jail for something we didn't do. Like the gentleman that was thrown into Rikers Island, you know what I'm saying? He was, got out and killed himself, man, because of the mental damage. Anthony Ray Henson back in the day in the 80s, he was thrown in on death row for 30 some years for something that he didn't do. It's just it's just crazy, man. I mean, I just hate for well, you already have kids, but like for my kids and my grandkids and stuff like that, have, got to keep going through this, and they up here on panels talking about the same stuff, you know. You know.
You know, I hear you. I do. And
yeah.
And it does frustrate him, but like at the end of the day, where can you go?
Yeah.
Where can you go? And you're gonna have to stand and fight.
Mm-hmm.
Stand and fight for what you believe in, and just walk through the slush.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll come across good desired people like I have. And I mean, I found you.
Yep.
I found.
It sounds
I found you, and I found other brothers, like other content creators. Not a lot of us, but there are a few of us, and I'm thankful for what I do find. Granted, it's not a lot of us, but as time goes on, and I used to always believe like, yo, and what am I doing worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I could easily get on the clout train and jump on the Republican conservative talk, I could jump on the pro-black talk. I could get on all of that. But that does not resemble me. And sometimes it is hard to stand alone, but at the end of the day, see, and that's the thing about it, because no man wants to be an island on his own.
Mm-hmm.
No man does. But Sally, when you're building, you're going to have to learn how to be alone. You're going to have to learn how to be alone. And and that's the thing about it. Like if you knew the right way, but everybody was doing the wrong way, do you stop doing the right thing and join on those who are doing the wrong thing?
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, I did have a mentally handicapped individual come into my house one time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did I kill him? No.
Oh,
I did not kill him.
You said he was drinking water because you was like, I know it's not funny, but just the way you said it, like, wait a minute, I thought the door was locked.
Right, I thought the door was locked.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
That was funny
but
though.
I didn't go shoot him or do no vigilante shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first thing that we asked was like, did we lock the door? Did we lock the door? So that falls on the owners or the securing of the property. I'm listening to people say, well, if your house is open and you open it up, guess what? There have been plenty of calls of people wandering in with dementia and other people said property.
Mm-hmm.
See, like I said, miss me with the narratives. Miss me with the narratives of the BS. Because how many times have we seen shows like that? You wandered or you got into the wrong vehicle, the wrong car, or some shit like that. Did they shoot you? Did they play vigilante justice ranger?
You know what's funny, man? I remember this back in when I was in Michigan. Dang, I think this happened like 2 years ago, man. I don't know, the dude wasn't paying attention, dog, but it was late at night, and I was somewhere in the parking lot. I was getting my food, and I guess he thought I was his ride. So the dude with headphones and stuff, he came in, man, and he just literally opened my door and sat in the passenger seat. I'm like, hey, bro, you in the wrong car. He's like, oh, shoot, my bad. I thought you was my homie, my bad. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a gun in my car. I could have, you know what I'm saying? I could have been evil, like, you know, shoot, you know. I'm like, nah, bro. I was like, oh, no, you good, man. You know, and he got out and stuff. He said, my bad. You know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen. But it's up to us to use our best judgment. To use our best judgment. You understand? Like, listen, man. Being a YouTuber, I have had the most interesting individuals walk up on me and my family. Granted, I had PTSD like a mug, and I'm like, yo, why am I still doing YouTube?
Yeah. That's going to increase that.
Like I am on goddamn 10 when it comes to this shit. But however, I never felt like I need to go ahead and get ready to, like, you know, do my vigilante justice, and I do neighborhood watch.
Yeah,
I do all this said stuff. But I'm like, there's nowhere y'all can show me that you have the right to use a said firearm to be your own Batman, the Punisher. Because when you start doing that, understand, we have already had it plenty times in our said society where people have had lynch mob, persecution mobs, all that on us. But I hear people say, well, the did do nothing. Well, guess what? He walked onto our property. So what? Big deal.
I have, bro. Like, if he ain't had those like, let's say, if you know those preconditions, bro. Like, if he ain't like got a gun pointed at you, that's a totally different story. Then you got to do what you got to do. But like I said, if you're from defenseless, man, you know, learn how to talk to people, bro. Like, and people want to say, well, in the video they were trying to talk to him. Ain't no telling they were saying racial slurs to him. Ain't no telling, bro. I mean,
if you listen to the second audio, you hear them screaming at him.
But it's hard to de-escalate a situation when you got weapons at an individual. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's I was just it's like it was a bait trap. I feel like that was
it was a bait trap. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm just saying nobody in any type of stature. Mind you, like I said, the running clause is, do you die? Like, this man had a gun, and he felt emboldened to fight back with the police. Okay? The other guys had a gun. They felt emboldened to fight. One man had no gun, and he accepted the fate that he would rather fight than die without fighting. You can't. Why do we do movies like 300 and all these Spartan movies and all this stuff on choose your battleground on how you're going to fall? We literally were saying that those we were honoring it and saying how brave the teacher was that she hid the kids in that school shooting. And she stood up. Do we not talk about in this country on standing up to the bully? Standing up to the oppressor. So now we demonize and talk down on those. And mind you, we will tell our own children. You will tell your child, and I'll tell my child that, hey, guess what? Regardless of the odds, you stand up for what you believe in.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and that's why I really like the teachings of Malcolm X, man. When you say, you know, man who stands for nothing falls for anything. Like, regardless how hard it is, bro. Like I said, I gotta put out what's right, regardless of what race you are. But especially, you know, for the African Americans, man, it's just time to stop. And when I hear like people like Candace Owens, bro, and it's not racially motivated, I'm like, come on, like, how can you say that out of your mouth, bro? Like, it's
you gotta understand, man. You gotta understand, man. And I get it. I get it, man. Like, you're talking to the same person that literally keeps talking about blacks on a plantation, but never had. Remind you, like she'll be the same guy that'll sit down in the same tax bracket around T.I. and them.
Exactly.
But and want to wear fancy clothes and do all this shit. Candace Owens don't live around any of us Negroes.
Right.
She don't. But she wants to talk and be the voice. The same one. I'm like, yo, like
It really doesn't matter where she lives. It's just the fact, the stuff that she stands on. I'm like, you don't like her and Brandon Tatum, bro. I'm like, bro, like, it's,
they
it's
get paid to say that. They get paid to say that, brother.
man, yeah. Because I had to start watching him, man. I was like, bro, what is you saying though? And I'm glad you made that video saying like I'm gonna have to rethink my political ideologies, man. I'm gonna get more independent, man. It's like, dog, y'all making us look bad, bro, when it comes to these social justice and reforms, man. Seriously, because it's just too one sided. No matter how much evidence you provide for them, they're too one sided.
Like I said, just show me the Asian Candace Owens that said, you know what? Hey, you guys are the reason why the rest of us have our stores closed. Shame on you. You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna get that. But see, when it comes to us, oh Lord have mercy.
That's funny, man. I used to stand up for her like all the time, but I can't with this. This is some coonery type of despicable. Just it's horrible, man. I'm like, we just needed a whole new reset. Like, God. Oh man. I just think they don't really want Black America to really change, though. When people have those talking points, they don't.
Well, the thing about it is, do as I say, but not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Do as I say, but not as I do. You understand me?
Yep.
Don't question what I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as you start to ask these kind of questions, you know what I'm saying? But I try to keep it balanced. I try to keep it fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also understand that life is not going to be fair.
Right. And this is when it gives the motivation we gotta come in and fight for it. You know. We just gotta fight for our freedom, man. I mean, I feel like this is really the areas that we're lacking in. It's unfortunate that these these excuse me, these positive events are happening, but this really giving me the fuel and the motivation, like I said, to go in here and do what I can. Like you said, like you broke down everything for me to really get into, like, real estate and the stuff to do that, and how to, control my own narrative with that. And I'm looking like, yes, and that's like knowledge and power that I need, that I can go ahead and help those that's in need as well. So like the stuff that you're doing, Man of Tomorrow, O'Shea, SKC, a lot of brothers, out here that's you out here preaching every day, man. This is what we need to do. I feel like, it's probably other brothers out there too, but those are the type of people I feel like that's going to probably save the Black race for many generations to come. I feel like.
You got it. The thing about it is, once you come to peace, that listen, man, I can wait for people to get their shit together, or I can just get my shit together. And when they're ready, start showing them the model.
Mm.
Start showing them the model. Here's how you do it. You've been doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine by the time you get on the island, I already know all the plants, all the trees, all the said things that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do is just say, hey, man, help out. And I'm not looking to do a collective. I'm just not. I'm not naive.
Yeah.
But whoever's willing to join on in, hey, there's plenty of work. There's plenty of work in the vineyard. You know.
Yep.
So, I get it. You know what I'm saying, and you gotta understand, like, at some point, even Moses, I understood that, yo, man, like, he was like, I can't get Aaron and them in line.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that. He's like, I can't get Aaron and them in line. Like, they're gonna do their own thing. But when you get frustrated and you start changing up from the format and the plan, that's when it gets hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That's when it's going to get harder for you. You know, and yeah, we're going to lose people. Did the same group that left Israel get to the promised land? Nope.
No, sure didn't.
Sure enough, did it.
The generation after had to. Joshua had to lead them in.
Shit, by the time the generation after that, they made it. They still couldn't get in.
Yep.
They had to time and time again keep peeling off those who weren't ready to move. And those who were ready, they had to say, well, fuck it. Y'all going to just do your own damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tired of trying to say, well, you know, I'm tired of always trying to be that one guy that always tries to let's get them on board. Let's stop. You know, I'm just not about in that energy anymore. My said job is to ready my tribe, my children, my people. And when people see that, hey, he's doing it, so can I, they'll come. But what do the people like seeing? A winning model. They like seeing somebody doing it and that's actually getting it done.
Yep.
So I'm not going to keep complaining. I'm not going to try to argue and do YouTube beefs and all that stuff. Nah, I got better time.
No.
I have more fun when I'm just sitting on there with you guys and we're just talking. We're just building.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when they're ready, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? When they're ready, they'll come.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Well,
So, right.
Leading by example. Yeah, that's what we controlling do. Well, like I said, I appreciate, like, you know, with your YouTube. I was gonna ask you too, BMT. Do you feel like, you know, this is really helping? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like this is like, do you feel like more this is a journal to you, or this is just like a hobby, or is something that like many years from now, 100 years from now, people are like, oh shoot, like they can go in and watch your videos and learn something.
From what I'm seeing, and this is my most fun enjoyment. My enjoyment is whenever I do a video and somebody will contact me or put a comment in one of my old videos and say, yo, like, keep doing what you're doing, or man, like, where have you been at this whole time? I don't know who is going to touch. I don't know when they're going to find it. I don't know when. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had it sometimes. I laugh and chuckle when some people say, oh, man, he must be new to YouTube. But I'm like, I've been on YouTube for years. Well, why is there not that many subscribers in your channel? Because my content's not for everybody.
Exactly.
It's just not.
We speak that raw stuff.
I'm not. I get my lane. Yeah. And one thing that I can honestly say, I work with everybody and I don't take sides. I'm just very broad. So if I come to your house and sit at your table, you know, some people might say, yo, like, who's that guy? And like, yo, like, you know, he's cool. Oh, that's my friend BMT. We can always go over his house and sup and eat and talk about anything. And I will open the door. Mm-hmm. Like, you gotta understand, like, yes, it is a hobby and it's also therapeutic for me.
Same here. I was in a depressive state a lot of times because I did my channel back in 2011, man. I had a girlfriend at the time in high school, so we used to do like couple stuff and all that. And you know, we broke up and everything. So I still kept the channel. The channel was under my name. So I ended up deleting all that, and I ended up making sports videos. That's what I originally started. I was interested in broadcasting. I was like, I'm talking about sports, my favorite sports team, and I actually generated a lot of people, a lot of audience. It was cool. I did it for like 3 or 4 years, man. You know, talking about sports and the NFL and NBA all the time, and then it's just like when life started happening, I started maturing a lot more. I was like, let me talk about some other things that really interest me, and that's when I really started researching it into more in the political exchange when Bernie Sanders was running and all that type of stuff. I got really inspired, and I kind of made a transition about the news, talk about politics, and a variety of things. So, but yeah, it's I agree with you on that. It's very therapeutic. It's my therapy. I kind of it keeps me sane a little bit, man, because it's just for me to express and get the stuff out here. Yeah, I just feel I kind of feel important with this YouTube. It's weird, man. At least just people that you don't know and people all over the world. Like you got people from I remember I had people from Germany listening to my stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? People from California like messaging me. People like want to see me in person because of my views and stuff. Like, want to like kick it with me and stuff like that. That's amazing, man. Like interviewing people from Philly. So it's just like wow, like and I was just starting off making videos in my bathroom, you know what I'm saying? Because
You all got to start somewhere, man.
yeah, man, I had so I was just like, yeah, so it's more of a journal to me. You like how fathers usually it was this documentary called Kingdom of Us, man, on Netflix. It was very kind of hit me hard because this dude had like 8 kids, man, 7 daughters and 1 son, man. So man, like he was in their lives and all that stuff though. He documented and he basically took a camera and everything and he was on filming their birthdays and their reactions. He was doing it, for years and everything. And he was like, the reason why I'm filming this, so many years from now you can look back at it, all the good times we had and all that stuff, man. And come to know it, man, he ended up committing suicide, bro, when they was like at least I'd say maybe they teenage years, 10 or 11, well, 12, 13 years old. And he killed himself, man. And basically was just really going into detail about how this family was coping from that. They was discovering like, okay, all the diaries and stuff that he was writing, why they killed themselves. And it was just really like a internal damage, man. Not only that, he's gone, but it felt like he left his family hanging because his wife was still, even though it happened years ago, his wife was still like, upset and just angry. It was just things going on in the family, man. And I'm just looking like, wow, like, it's crazy. It's crazy out there, man. You always gotta need that outlet and stuff. And it was a really good documentary, man. It just made me just, when you take your own life and do those type of things, man, you really hurt a lot of people that you're associated with, man. I mean, these kids was really going through some emotional damages in that documentary though. But yeah, I encourage you to check it out. But it just really just gave me the inspiration to continuously to keep going, no matter how hard it is, So I'm just glad that YouTube it's a good platform, man. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. Went through a lot of stuff with this YouTube stuff, man. I mean, it's a journey. It's what comes with it. You gotta have some tough skin. People want to, argue with you. People, it's just all kinds of stuff, man. So, but well, I enjoy it.
And and the thing about it is, one of my big inspirations, don't let it go to your head, is you.
Thank you, man.
I watch, would anybody care if I told the truth? If I spoke the truth, would anybody listen? And the thing about it is, it's not about how many people are watching, but it's about the integrity of, are you going to stay to the mission? Do you stick to the mission and still tell the truth?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see that like that. Like, I mean, granted, there's some guys who can do, the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing. And I've done the trending things. And the algorithm really does work. Like, if you talk about
it does.
if you talk about the latest buzz stuff,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? You'll get the trends. But then again, I'm just like, am I on here just to get views, or am I on here to actually talk about stuff that's relevant to me?
Yeah.
Because when I talk about stuff that's relevant to me,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people really want to know, because they're like, whoa, like,
well, yeah,
there are people that talk or think like that.
Yeah, it's like an artist, man. Like when J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar talk about some real stuff. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna get as many, fans as compared to people that's just hopping on the trends and stuff like that. But thing is about trends, they fade away. That's what
Right.
people realize. This lasts forever, man. Like, people, this classics. You get what I'm saying? So that's something when people come on, like, listen to over and over again. Like, most of the music nowadays is just like, okay, you listen to a few minutes and then that's it. Like, you put it on the shelf and listen to it anymore. And like in the 80s and 90s, you used to revisit it. So I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I can do reaction videos, all that. I mean, talk about makeup. Actually, it was this gentleman. I forgot I think it's James Charles. What's this? This is something, man. A black introvert did a video on him. This dude, man, got like, I think like 22 million subscribers, and all he do is talk about makeup, and he wears makeup. Like, I'm like, dang, bro. And he like a fashion. I think he like a fashion model, something like that. And he making a lot of money, man. Just talk about makeup. You know. I mean,
But but I holistically,
yeah,
like I said, I look at this like this like depending on and I've been battling mental health for a long time,
yeah,
and I honestly, this is like my journal. God forbid anything does happen to me, but it's me keeping track of giving me a reason to go on or
yep.
talk.
Wake up in the morning and keep going. Yep,
Right.
exactly.
And,
Yep.
yeah, it's a little side income.
Mhm.
Thank God for the stuff. I didn't think it would go like this. You know, um, but I talk about this stuff, and and I just say, hey, you know what? This is just, I didn't want to be a preacher. My mom swore up and down like, you're going to be a preacher. You're going to be a preacher. And I'm like, well, maybe this is a different way of how, maybe this is a different way of how I can, talk.
Well, maybe God probably don't want you to be in the pulpit. You still can go out here and, as far as ministry and be effective. You don't have to always be a preacher. I remember my pastor told me that like it's many different ways and gifts that you can do. You can be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? You can be a server. You can do hospitality. It's we all in this earth, like it's, like I said, I believe this to serve God's word. Some people were appointed to be preachers and stuff like that, and you got some people just appoint themselves, and then you see how that looks. It become a disaster. And look, it's just horrible. Like when Pastelis be coming in here in this country and they still asking for money, it's like, come on now, like. So you got some people do it for their own agenda and stuff, but at the same time, man, I think we all have a purpose of serving. Like when I told you I helped the gentleman, this is before the COVID stuff, months ago, man. And he came up to me and I was at the library studying and he was like, hey, bro, man, you got some money if I can, and I could have brushed him off saying, get out my face. But, I actually heard the story out. Like I said, he didn't really have no much transportation. He had a baby mother, so he got like 2 or 3 kids, man. Struggling, lost his job, his car got repossessed. There was a lot of stuff going on. So, I gave him like, $60, man, so he can at least have, enough money to go ahead and take him back and forth to get a cab because he had a job interview at McDonald's. And, I did that. Actually, too, I helped him get his haircut as well. I paid for his haircut. And he was like, "Oh, why you do that, man?" So I'm like, "No, it's not a waste. I did it for it because the kindness of my heart. I can always get the money back. I'm always wasn't worried about that. I was worried because he's a brother, and even if he doesn't talking to me, he don't talk to me ever again. I know that at least that he would remember that. You know what I'm saying? He would be like, wow, this gentleman really took time out of his day to help me out, and that's impactful. I just do little things like that.
I think, like I said, man, but I'm gonna do a talk about standing up to your oppressive mind.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if anybody needs to, you can always go look up the Ahmaud Arbery autopsy. It's finally been released.
Good.
Everything that they've been saying that he was wearing boots, that was a lie. He had drugs in the system, that was a lie. He had mental problems, that was a lie. And it's sad that people are saying all the stuff about him, and none of that stuff is true. They just
right. They was like, why he in there the first place? I was like, well, because he can. I mean, he ain't doing nothing. People do it all the time. Like I said, I looked it up. It's not against the law to go to a construction site. Like, what are you talking about?
Again, I can send you. I think I emailed you. I'm not sure if
Okay.
I emailed you the audio. But even the 911 operator was like, "Sir, what did he do wrong?
Exactly.
Like, what did he do wrong?" And I
And
guess I had a guy said that it's against the Georgia's law to go to trespass, and
oh,
I'm like, okay, that's crazy because the owners of the property said, I didn't tell those people to do all that. I don't know those people.
mm-hmm.
I don't know those killers. That the owner said, I don't got nothing to do with none of that stuff.
Exactly. Now
So
the only thing he said was like he just did seen someone on surveillance camera, but it has no description of the gentleman. Because I'm like, why would you jog and run with boots on? It doesn't make sense to me.
no,
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if he was caught, right, he would been running like he would have been sprinting. This man was a casual jogging. It's just it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. But we gonna thank you for the update. We're gonna see Leah should get life. So go ahead and see what's going on. We gotta see how long they're gonna be in prison though. That's the thing we're waiting on.
right, like but like I said, I mean, some people saying that they won't ever do time. That no, like
They're gonna do
even
some time.
the governor and the governor and all of them are like, no, like no, like we're just not letting this go. Like y'all not asking us to let this one go.
No,
Like,
and then
and that's
yeah.
interesting. Kemp, Kemp and Stacey Abrams.
That is
Like,
interesting because they was going against each other. That's interesting. Yeah. That's
so they're all so a lot of people that are higher up are now getting involved into this.
Yeah,
They're
because
now getting involved into this.
exactly, and I just and I'm just very disappointed in our own people, African Americans, bro, defending some of them defending the what I'm saying the McMichaels. Like, come on, bro, what is y'all doing? And this is why we can't really. This is why we can't really go anywhere, man. 'Cause shit like that. Excuse my language. It's just like seriously, man. I don't care if you got 100 million subscribers, bro. Why would you? Come on, that's not cool. I don't understand it.
This the thing about it is this. This is why I just don't entertain.
Yeah.
I don't entertain and my brother told me that. Shout out to my little brother Josh. He said he decided once people start talking with that type of mentality or rhetoric, do like Jesus and just shut up. Just do like Jesus and just shut up. Don't say nothing. Just let them talk. Because so that way you know what I'm saying, who not to affiliate or talk to. I mean, I agree. I could have sat in their chat room and argue with them.
Yeah.
I'm also like, listen, y'all just don't need to, be on. Don't talk with me. Don't bump with me. Don't do nothing with me. Hey,
yeah.
I understand that. Hey, the same way, and I said this, the same way y'all got that energy for black women, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Y'all got all the smoke for black women, but here we got it right here.
Yep.
So I'm like, listen, I don't want to hear nothing.
Nope, none of your talking points, none of that. Nope.
Nope, none of your talking points, none of that. If y'all
soft.
Like I said, this, like I said, dig your grave and lay in it.
Yep. And then when they get upset when we not support, no, I am not support. I'm like, I never really donated. I don't think I never donated to Brandon Tatum's show, but yeah, but it's definitely no, not a supporter of none of you coon ass niggas. I can't. I just y'all. This COVID stuff really brought a lot of y'all true nature.
I told you, like,
Seriously,
man, like
it did. It really did, man. You'll be amazed what people will. I think when my grandmother said, she said when people are angry or stuff like that, you will be amazed because they say a lot. It reveals a lot who they are, especially when they're going through things and stuff like that. So, and actually the determining factor of relationships is too. So it's amazing. It amazes to me, man. And it's going to show you that these people that you so-called look up to don't care nothing about you. And it goes to some, I'm not saying all, but it goes to some of these pastors as well that we look up to in the community. Where was y'all at going through this? You know?
So, you know, we just
People
be
got
mindful.
individual agendas, I feel like, man. And this is why, you know, I only know the only person I know, like I said, is God. That's the only thing I know that really would never turn his back on me. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's getting crazy, man. You know, and it's just sad, like how like some people were just getting left behind from this, bro. Like, you know, it's sad, and you still kind of find ways to take advantage of them. Like, it just hurts me that when you hear a pastor saying I still need y'all to give y'all some tithes. I know y'all going through some tough times now. You know how ignorant that is and disrespectful and trifling that is. You know. I'm
Like
like,
I said, we've seen quite a lot, young.
yes.
And I mean, we've seen quite a lot, and you know, it always tells you where your integrity's at. It tells you where your integrity's at for a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it tells you where your integrity's at for situations that come about and happen, and you know, you have to find out, like, you know, just where, you know what I'm saying, where's your soul at?
Exactly.
You know, where's your soul at for some of this stuff? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like I told a few people, like, hey man, I'm good. I'm straight.
You know, BMT, I know you don't like RBR, dog, but at least RBR ain't cooning, dog, and defending. I don't think he
I
did.
gotta get, you know, and honestly,
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the game, bro? Y'all make you got even RBR got a point, boy.
RBR, I'm like the 9 federal judges, dog. The federal judges. I'm like,
I'm like, y'all make RBR look right.
RBR is like, it's like it's weird. It's just like you need them, but you don't. It's weird. You can't really explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's like the type of person like you don't want to ban him for life, but it's just like, you know, you want to keep him around. Then like, all right, bro, all right, you good. We don't need you no more. Oh man.
I mean, like I said, like sometimes, okay, I would not have said, you know what, that makes sense. But then when he started going on his rambling for too long, you just got to say, RBR, shut up.
Yeah, because I'm looking like, no, he keep making video. He made a paddle about classic Ruby twice, dog, for like 3 hours. I'm like, dog, what's wrong? Yeah.
I don't say nothing too much anymore. I just say, you know what, there's a place for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
That's what you need to.
It's the beauty of YouTube. Like,
I don't say nothing too much anymore. I just ride. I just, they'll let me know. They'll let me know.
Yeah, man. But that's what it is, BMT. You know. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's really a lot to take in and everything though. But like I said, it's not me. I'm transitioning. Like I said, to having a family real soon and just getting myself together and everything. And it's a journey though.
Right.
Yeah, as far as like manhood and stuff, I'm learning every single day. You know, securing things, learn how to control my emotions. Thinking ahead. Make sure my women's good, stuff like that, like balancing out like my hobbies and stuff like that and still spending time with her. So, that takes some type of practice and skill. So I'm learning a lot about that. And I would like about her, she enjoys what I do on my YouTube. She knows I have YouTube. Family she follow me on YouTube. So, it's pretty cool though, man. I'm just glad how like this YouTube experience, it really helped me out with my confidence a lot. Because I used to be really camera shy, man. I know that's ironic because I don't have my face showing up right now, but I used to be real camera shy, man. I mean, seriously, like just speaking. But now the more I do it, it's not that bad,
Right.
I don't get as nervous anymore. Yeah.
I would want to say that, all we can do is take our time.
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you're getting to that point where you'll be starting your family.
All right.
And when you talk about where do you go, you move forward with your tribe,
Mm-hmm.
and you build with just them. And as time goes on, you'll start to see I'm not alone. You see that's the beauty of it. Because when I hear other people say, you know, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, or you know, we gotta get. I'm like, that's fine. Well, dang man, you don't care. I'm like, it's not that I don't care. It's just for the fact that I have my tribe, so I'm not alone. I'm not alone with my ideology. I'm not alone with my belief. I'm not alone in where I stand in my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes it a lot more easier because you know my kids, they encourage me. My wife encourages me.
Right,
You know,
right.
my family encourages me. You know, I have you to encourage me. You know, I have people. I have a whole team, literally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of co-hosts. I don't know that many people that have that many co-hosts like me. I literally have co-hosts, and you know, and I let them run the show. You know, I even trust it where I can step off the show and let you say, hey, all right, young, you can go ahead and run it. Because I know that, you know, we're all trying to find set answers. And if it's your time to take the staff and walk, then hey, then go ahead and walk.
Right. Well, and that's why I think, you know, maybe God has given me this burning desire, man, to like do this. And you know, like I said, I was making connections with city commissioner and stuff like that, and you know, it's something I'm gonna do probably after the military and everything. And I really want to. It don't even have to be a governor, like, or I don't know, maybe like a mayor of a city or something like that, or a city council, just something that would kind of hold weight. It's not even all about the money. This is about just helping, like, and just at least like, you know, like when I want to leave like an impact, like sort of like what Fred Hampton did with the Black Panthers, man, at his early age, something like that, bro.
Well, here's the thing, about it. Take your time and start one day at a time, and it will add up.
Mm-hmm.
See, one penny, the first day you save it don't look like a lot.
Right.
It don't. But as you start collecting more pennies and more change, that one penny, it starting to look pretty good. But you're like, whoa, I got a whole lot of change. Like, I always try to interest whenever I save up cash and put it in my you know, the area where I smoke at, or you know, that little change area. And I would just keep throwing change in there, and I don't think about it. I just keep putting it in.
Mm-hmm.
And then sooner or later, I'm like, well, damn, when did I get all of this?
Right.
Over time, it just accumulated and grew and built. Where when I do need something, I have it there. So that's how it is in you building. You don't notice it because you're just continuously just doing it. But when the time when you do need it, you'll look at it, you're like, oh wow, I have like $15 of change in my car. You know what I'm saying? Like, babe, we ain't gotta grab no money. We got like $20. I remember I had $40 of quarters just sitting in my car.
Yep.
And I was like, you know, my wife said, dang, why you got all this money? She's like, I don't ever think too much about it. Just throw it in and just keep moving.
Yep.
But it's the little thing. Over time, they'll build up. You find the right brothers. You find the right people. You don't have to do something big. You know what I'm saying? Do stuff. Start out small. Like say, hey, I got a few young people. Like I bring young brothers on so that way they could talk and they can have their voice heard. Maybe and some people, you know.
I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, because and I've been doing that too, man, because people want to feel like, oh shoot, you know, and that's actually how you grow an audience too. You have to have their own input. They feel like, damn, this man actually let me, you know, express my thoughts on his panel. Wow. Of course I'm gonna keep, you know, every time he go live, I'm gonna go ahead and support him.
Right.
That's a marketing skill right there. I be taking notes, I be learning. I'm like, oh shoot, let me start doing that. Then I had my boy Killzone came on yesterday, and you build relationships. It's all about relationships, man. You know,
Killzone, he talks on Killzone, I believe he talks on Facebook for the most part.
Yeah, he do. He goes live a lot, and he be on Twitch too. He's a gamer.
He's a gamer, yeah, and I've seen Killzone talk a few times. I gotta play against him sometime.
Yeah, he's really he played every day, but he's starting to get good, man, at Call of Duty. Because I remember when he first started off, like a couple years ago, a year ago, he was a little average. He wasn't all that good, but man, he's like Terminator level now.
You know, but you got to start somewhere, and that's good to see more black gamer content creators coming into these set spaces. At first I thought I was the only one.
No, they everywhere. They out there.
No, but I'm like in like this space of YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I don't see them. Like, no, I know we got black gamers. You know what I'm saying? But it's as far as getting them into this set space. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're
like,
saying.
You know, where they can mix up their content with their gaming. I started seeing that's why I started covering Final Fantasy, started covering Resident Evil, you know, different stuff that I feel like, hey, you know what? This is stuff that, you know, there's a lot of us out here that, you know, they like this said kind of content. They want to hear, you know, what this stuff, how this stuff can actually, you know, mix up, and can we talk about politics or
exactly
stuff while doing things,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, politics is, and like I said, I'll talk to my granddad. My granddad, on my dad's side, he's I don't say he's liberal, but he's Democratic, you know, which is cool. And we always have good discussions and talks and everything. And and like I said, man, some things I agree with him, some things I disagree with him. You know, I sat and talked with Republicans, I sat and talked with conservatives, I sat and talked with libertarians, Democrats, and we exchanging ideas. I remember my granddad, I was like, granddad, so because my granddad like he like in the 70s, I think. And I was like, hey man, you lived through this time, you know, with this Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all that stuff. So I was just saying, like, so do you believe that I asked him, like, do you believe that segregation was the best fit for African Americans, or integration? And he said integration. And he gave me a good answer for it. I was like, wow, okay. You know, I mean, because, you know, usually, you know, you hear a lot of black people say, oh, segregation and stuff like that, you know.
To stay separate.
So he believed integration was the best thing for black people. That's what he told me.
My father said he is glad that, you know, his children can get a fair shot.
Right.
You know, and I asked on the panel the same simple question. When they bring up other countries and other stuff, I said, okay, so you're talking about all these other countries, all these other places.
Right.
Where are you going to go? Well, we can go to West Africa. Well, how do you know you're from West Africa? How do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your who? Well, if I look up on Ancestry, okay, guess what? It's not always correct. So you don't actually know. And we're not all from the same area. So I get it. You want to have some place to call home, but whether you like it or not, this is what you got. You know, you can go elsewhere. Yeah, you can. But this is where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always agree, but I'm out here fighting, and you know what I'm saying? You're out here fighting.
We got to, man. We got to, I mean, I feel like, you know, so you go to different countries, they have different sets, rules, standards. I mean, we just like I said, we just got to establish dominance here. Our ancestors were here, built this country, and we just got to continue to move forward. I just feel like, you know, I won't say it's a cowardly way to leave, but, you know, establish your legacy here. I know it's hard, but that's what I want. I mean, it would be cool to live to a different country, but just go for the right reasons, though, man. Because I think that's like, you know, we had some brothers, I think on the Black YouTube sector, they were kind of saying like, yeah, man, you know, go to Brazil, go to these different countries, man, and then be cool there, start your family there. But that's not the ultimate solution, though. You still leaving. It's like you're not adding, you know, any, you know, tangible ideas to actually help your people. So that's what it's all about, really. You know, um, it's still that economic structure that we gotta face. Because I was talking to just DeAndre, he's from Japan. He was like, bro, like, you ain't gonna come to their country and set up a business like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta speak the
Right.
language. He said, you gotta have an education. You gotta do all that. Even if you have a degree, a master's or PhD, if you don't speak the Japanese language fluently, they ain't gonna take you serious. You saying you're gonna start as an English teacher there, and then you gotta have to build your way up. And then so because you have to talk to these business people in their language, that's the whole main thing. So they got different people got countries got different sets of rules and stuff like that. So it's like you starting all over.
Well, see, that's the thing about it that I always point out. But I mean, I've
Yeah.
traveled for many years, and I always chuckle whenever I hear people say, "Well, leave America and we can go start over new." I'm like, hell no, dude. Like, shit. You seen what I've seen? Goddamn, dude. Like, I'm not going to start over shit from scratch. Like, no. I'm good right here. My forefathers fought for this. I'm good. I'm thankful.
Right.
It may be not much, but it's better than what some have. So I got to make it work.
Exactly.
I have to make it work. And so, in saying that, I'm not about to give up what is mine.
Mm-hmm.
You tell that to some people. When you tell it to some people, they're like, "No, well, this ain't your country." I'm like, "Then what? Then what is my country?
Right.
What is my flag? What's my point of origin?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just tell me."
And yeah, exactly. But that's my thing, man. But the consistency and stuff that I continuously to put on here, it's all for the greater good, man. Like I said, kids can look at here, and like I said, I do have getting people saying they like my stuff. It's just amazing, man. What you can, the things that you say and the thing that you do that can really impact so many people. You know, um, yeah, man. So like this YouTube stuff, I'm keep going, man. And next community, I'm gonna go ahead and like you said, take one day at a time, just keep moving forward. Uh, as long as I got breath in my body, man. Because at the end of the day, I just want to at least be remembered. Like, all right, at least this man worked hard. At least this man tried. Now let's pick up what he did. I think that's the whole ultimate thing. Because we're not gonna be on this earth forever, man. So, and that's why I believe, because after this, it's probably another life we gotta live.
Right.
That's and that's why I really think, man. And it comes and goes, man. This life and everything. Because I really don't really think it's matter how much money you have. It's all about how many people you impact. I really truly believe that.
That's all we can do, brother. That is all we can do.
Yeah.
And once you come to peace with that, that's you just move forward.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's you going today, man. Like I'm like, dang, it's like what we gonna talk about today? Like, like
that's
man.
all we can do, man. And I try my hardest to have an affirmative belief.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And and I'm sometimes I know I'm not the most religious man.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not the most religious man, but I make I take my place.
True. Well, I'm gonna probably go ahead. I'm gonna got work in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and probably just wind down, read a little bit to get ready for tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, brother. But what show you doing tomorrow, bro? Any topics?
I don't know, but I'm gonna call you and we'll figure it out together.
Okay, I got you, brother. Thanks for coming on in. I'm gonna go ahead and close out.
Not a problem. And thank you for allowing me.
Oh yeah, no problem, brother. Anytime, man.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace, guys.